I've been struggling for the last 3 days, trying to come over here and talk about this. But on Monday, November 15th, 2021, I lost an uncle who was on my dad's side, so his brother. Um, I've been trying for the last 3 days to get all my thoughts together, and before I made this video, and this guy, my uncle, made a tremendous impact on my life. Maybe not from like obvious things, but it was the little things that he did that impacted me. I wish I could say that I spent a ton of time with him, because I didn't, especially as an adult. But as a kid, we went and saw him in Michigan, him and his family, multiple times. But during those times, I learned a lot about him just from observing. I remember how much he cared about people and how he took care of everyone. He was a very responsible person and religious. But I think what made him so unique was his personality, because I think back to some of our conversations, and I think in some of the like moments that we had, I just remember how unique he was. And he, from the outside looking in, you wouldn't know these things. You would think he is, you just wouldn't know these things about him. And again, that's obvious, but I really miss him. He was the uncle I was closest to, from the sense that I got to know him more than any other uncle on that side of the family. No disrespect to anyone else, but I spent a lot of time with his family. And honestly, I felt, at least growing up, I was closest to them more than anyone. I got to meet my other uncles and spend some time with those other uncles, but again, I look back in my messages, and it was just the little things that he said to me. Like, my seizures came back in 2016, and he would message me, and he would encourage me that I hope things are going well. He was going through cancer, and he still took the time to do that, and I find that I find that very he's a very unselfish person, and man, I wish I could find it. Let me look here. So back when I was about 21, I smoked for probably a minute, probably a year, if that. And he was just telling me, that he went through that phase too, and he says it's just not worth it. And he was telling me that, and I think, I don't remember exactly, but I'm sure back then that made me think. And now, like, I haven't smoked for years and years and years and years and years, but like, um, man, just looking through all these memories. Um, he was such a tremendous guy, and his battle with cancer lasted a decade, and he got better, he was cured, and then he had some complications, and then other things happened, and finally I think his body, I think, just probably couldn't take it anymore. Again, I don't know all the details. That's why I'm kind of being vague on a lot of these things, but um, he the cancer he had was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and again, he was cured, but complications happened, and then other things happened, and um, you know, I'm so grateful for the time I did spend with him. I just wish I got to know him as an adult. And I've been messaging my cousins, and uh, I miss that part of the family a lot. I Man, I just wish I got to spend more time with him. It's not really it's not really a regret, but it is. I'm 35 years old, and the last time I saw him probably was when I was 18, 17 or 18. And during that whole time, I never got up to Michigan. Um, and during most of that time, I was living in Minnesota. I wasn't even in Arizona then. So, in fact, it was probably when I was, yeah, I was probably when I was 17, 16 or 17. I don't know, somewhere in that range. So probably like 2002, 2003. But yeah, I was a short flight away. I was a short drive away, to be honest with you. I think it's like 12 hours to Michigan, where they lived anyways. That that's not that far. But again, I go back to the fact that I'm so happy I got to spend time with him when I was a kid, because those were the developing years. Those were the years where I got to learn things, and I was a very in my emotions with my own dad. I was I was a very I didn't treat my dad like I should have. Very, yeah, just didn't treat him right. I'm glad now where I'm like way past that, and me and my dad have a great relationship, which I talked about a few months ago, so I'm not going to get into that. But um, I learned a lot from him. How to be responsible. My uncle, like, he was a person that, like, you'd see him go around the house doing dishes, um, just everything that you should do as a man of the house, as a father, just being there for your kids. Like, the one thing that I observed when I was younger that I remember most is that his kids had the utmost respect for him. And you could tell with the way they listened. And that's something I wished I had at that age, because I do now towards my father for the most part, but um, back then I wish I had that, because it would have got me so much further in life. And unfortunately, it wasn't until many, many years later, I would say 5, 6 years ago, where and again, I'm not going to get into this, but me and my father, really, our relationship, we got to start over and really uh, become, a father and son, you know. So, so anyway, you guys get my point. But I will miss my uncle tremendously. Just for every life lessons. Again, these were small things, and the vacations to Mackinac Island and Niagara Falls were great. But it's always the little things. It's the little things I always look at in life. Like, you go on a vacation. Well, and why the vacation is fun. It's the conversations you have. It's the um, memories that you hold most. It's not so much, oh, we went on a vacation to wherever. It's just about the little things about that vacation you had. Um, I remember going there during in the winter one year with my dad. We drove there from Minnesota. My dad drove up from Arizona, picked us up, and then we drove to Detroit. And it was, I remember getting there in the freezing cold, and it was snowing, and it was pretty late at night, and he was there, you know. I remember taking a train when we were a kid to Detroit from Minnesota. Um, just so many cool things I remember. My prayers and thoughts are with my family up there right now. It's going to take some time to heal, and you'll never really truly heal completely when you lose someone like a father or a mother, or, for me, an uncle. But and even though I haven't seen him for a long time, he'll be missed. Me and him talked. I think it was last year. I think it was last year. I want to see when it was. Me and him talked last year, and let's see. The last thing he said. I don't know where we talked. I want to say maybe it was Instagram, but we talked about how he was thinking about coming to Phoenix to visit. One of the years that we were here, when we moved here in 2017, and he talked about, I want to say it was in 2018 or 19, he thought about coming down. Unfortunately, it never happened, but it's just he was always thinking about us. Even though, me and my brother didn't grow up in the Muslim faith, and, he was still always caring, Um, me and my brother grew up in an American lifestyle. It was really, truly an American lifestyle. I'm a Christian. I miss him a lot still. No matter what, like, man, when I had my eye surgery too, like he was, texting me on Facebook and things like that. Like he always cared about people. I mean, I had a good cry probably. It was probably the day after. Actually, it was the day after he died because I had to go to work the next day. And I remember, obviously I couldn't really cry, but I was working and I was so emotional on the inside, and I just tried to battle through the hurt um, as I was working, and eventually could get distracted a little bit with my other coworkers, talking to them just about other stuff, but it was really hard that immediate day following, and then that next day as well. So, um, man, I want to visit my cousins up there soon, and I am serious about it because we all go way too long without seeing each other. And that's no one's fault. Life happens. I'm not, blaming anyone, but I really miss my cousins up there in Michigan and that family in general. Again, that's the family I'm closest to. That was the uncle I was closest to. Um, he was always asking about me. He always like took the time out of his day to message me on Facebook or whatever. It was. I want to say he even called me when I was in the hospital when I had to go and when I was in the hospital for my seizures because they were monitoring me. And I want to say he called. Maybe he didn't, but I do know. At the very least, I know he. I know for a fact that he, wrote me. But again, this just goes to show you how caring he is as a person. And again, I just wish I got to know him as an adult. But anyways, I'm just kind of going around in a circle right now. But Uncle, I will miss you. I love you, and I promise, if I can, I will continue to stay in touch with the family because I know I don't know if you're listening, from up above, but if you are, um, just know I'm gonna try my hardest to uh, stay in touch with the family because I miss them a lot as well. Miss my cousins up there. I wish I could have gone to the funeral, but things happen, and the funeral was so soon, and uh, I understand it's not. A lot of people couldn't go, from my understanding, but um, anyways, guys. That being said, thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Um, I know I went out in a circle probably a million times during this video, probably repeated myself a million times, but I appreciate all of you listening. With that being said, take care, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.